What, guys? Oh gosh, wait. I forgot if the mic was down or not. Yeah. Um, I am obviously not one of my boys, but I'm stepping in for Corey today because he's one of our guests, as he top 42'd got 42nd in the
DLC Milwaukee in the main event.
I'm struggling today. I'm sorry. It's been a long weekend. But yeah. So Matt and Al are gonna kind of break everything down for you guys, and yeah, have fun.
Awesome.
Why is there a pattern?
What's up, Matt?
What's going on? I guess
Nothing
we'll
much.
start off with your experience or the whole tournament.
Okay, so my experience was the typical average person experience, I would say. Going in, hopes to get a Mulan, get 3 wins, and just hope for the best. That did not happen. I only had 2 wins by the last round. It is, and same thing with Ashton, and we did not get it. It was rough out there. I was fighting for my life. A lot of great.
Like it was gonna be intense fun.
Yeah, a lot of great players. I mean, it wasn't my day, and that's how it was. But everyone convinced me to do the Infinity one. Zarek was like, "Hey, I'm day 2ing. Go ahead and take my spot in the Infinity. Use my Infinity deck," which was awesome. And it was items. Ashton did play someone with Jafar, and then Ashton did play it and bodied him. The hat is fire. I did win this hat with the tickets that I got from the Infinity format. I got 4 wins and got like 3,400 tickets. Ashton had a few wins and got the rest, so I was able to buy a hat and a pin. The Infinity format was really good.
Making all the tickets like so high priced and like just making it confusing.
That was a very, very like major complaint. A lot of people get
it was like 10 tickets. You got like 1 per win. Like it just made more sense that way.
Yeah, but this one was like if you got 7, we knew someone who got 7 wins, and the Infinity got 30,000 tickets. But then in the main event, if you day 2, you only got 10,000.
That doesn't make any sense, but okay. But for like the 10,000, did you get like a ticket and it said 10,000 on it? Like
no, they gave you like
10,000 tickets, bro.
No, they gave you 10 1,000 tickets, and they're like, "Here you go."
Ain't no shot. They're just sitting there counting all these fucking tickets.
Could you imagine?
No wonder the line so long.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's your 10,000.
600. I fucked up.
We're restarting it. But yeah, it was. I did play Blurple. Yeah, mine and Corey's lists were maybe 2 card difference, maybe 3. I lost every die roll, and some matches I never saw a Hades. Like I was like, I at one point I was second guessing if I added it in my deck. I was like, did I bring him? Did I bring him? I have no idea. Yeah. Is this DLC Seattle again? Where I forgot 4 cards? Yeah, what am I doing right now? Sometimes I didn't see any draw. It was crazy for me. So it was just
kind of rough.
It was rough. It was very rough for me. But on that note, it was great for the other guys that were there, and that's what it was about. You know, like once I knew that I was like it was Dunzo, I was just there supporting the guys. You know,
that's good.
Yeah. So, but there was a lot of interesting decks there, though, for sure.
It seems spicy. Top cut deck lists were piles, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was good though.
This was the first American DLC for the 2nd year of the Ohana. I think we'll go ahead and the breakdown of all the decks and entrants of the day. It was expected to be Blurple most played, and of course, Blurple was most played, 30% of the field.
And Yeah,
Steel, 25%.
I had 2 mirrors and I lost both of them. Um, but it was very interesting going in this with a lot of the with the lists that were there. I wish I would have went against the Amber Ruby player just to see what the deck was.
Yeah, I was just looking at those bottom ones, like, man, shout out those people who was just like, I'm playing blue red still.
Yeah, and I hope I find out like how many wins, like if he got his Mulan with that and stuff like that. How far those 6 people went. So
it'd be interesting.
but
So the only things that jump out to me right away is I would have thought Emerald Sapphire and Amber Emerald were played more. I mean, just slightly more.
So I did think Amber Emerald was going to play way more.
I did think it was picking up a lot of steam there.
Yeah.
We have the Amber Emerald players saying they wish they played Amethyst Sapphire all day long, and I agree that's what they want.
Yeah,
Amethyst deck's too strong, too consistent. 55% of the whole field you were going to play against Amethyst.
Oh, yeah.
Or the final 2 as well. And then we could show the conversion rate of these decks here.
I feel like day 2 was pretty interesting.
Like, can we go back? Can I see how many Amber Sapphire and how many Emerald Amethyst they did? Because 1 apiece into Top Cut, or day 2, I mean, is pretty interesting.
It is. And that Amber Sapphire, I heard someone went against that, and it was really spicy.
Have we seen this list? I do not know anything about these. I would be quite interested in them.
So out of the 10 people, Amber Sapphire, 1 of them made it into day 2. So that's a big accomplishment.
Yeah.
And then Amethyst Emeralds.
These are the conversion rates. We had Amethyst Sapphire go 10% over, which is obviously very strong. We had Hogs and Blue Steel both got Blue Steel barely getting over it by points of conversions, not as played as much, getting into the positive. So those were looking like the 3 strong choices of the week.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think because they didn't win, but
I know that
the 4 Amethyst Ruby players that made it. You guys are heroes.
Keeping the fire alive. They're going to be the real ones next set.
We're back.
So, I know Dom was talking about earlier the Amethyst Emerald before I went to Milwaukee. He's like, "You're definitely going to see this deck," and I did not. I wish I did. I wish I did because it was a good deck. The way Dom played it was very good. So I was kind of surprised when I didn't see it. But
the one dude and the Cuscos.
Yeah, the Cuscos. The guy that did
day 2 locally here.
Go ahead. The guy that day 2'd with it, I know he made Dom proud. So
yeah, somebody locally here that was said he was gonna bring it, and I was like, bless you. But yeah. So
I do like this like conversion. I do like how the meta is broken down. It isn't just the same thing. I know we have 110 Amethyst Sapphire, but everything else was pretty spread out evenly.
It's always going to be a
spread out,
deck, and it was nice.
Yeah,
I think the position decks like Amber Emerald, Emerald Steel, and Sapphire Steel are like clearly that tier below. Maybe not so much Amber Emerald, but are like a tier below the like big 4 decks, people would say. But I think they're still quite competitive, which is nice.
Yeah. So I know a lot of the Amber Steel players there that were like just there was a few that were like, man, they're there, and it was just like it blew our minds. Like a main one, that I want to mention is like the Aiden, the kid.
Yep,
showed up and he just
top 4.
Yeah,
Golden
and I mean this
winner.
Is youngest to do it, and this is his list. And
beat
he just
defending champion DKP.
Yeah, DKP even brought it up that he played this deck very well, and I mean, he was able to take advantage of everything and go as far as he did. So it's gonna be
Yeah,
really
it's
good to
always
see
awesome.
him. Yeah, it's gonna be really good to see him continue to progress more and more in
Yeah,
this game. So big shout out to him and a big congratulations on him
his gold
being the
Mickey.
first at his age to do it. So
Yeah, it's crazy. Wish the kids I knew that did that. All right, so we can quickly shout out the rest of the top 8 because we're not going to go over it. We had 2 people claim gold Mickeys for a second time: Jonathan Williams and Chris Oyola, both playing
yeah.
Amethyst Steel. We had Dan from the Forbidden Mountain, go first seed, undefeated, run of his life. He said ended in top 4, I think, maybe top 8. He did get a gold Mickey. I'm sure that was amazing. Playing dogs. We talked about the kid, and then I will talk about the other 2 that made it all the way. So we'll get to them later. We'll have both their lists. I guess we can transition into the second place list. It was Amethyst Sapphire. I'm not familiar with this guy's name. Can we read it on there? No. But he
Uh,
also had mentioned that he only got 3 wins in Bologna to get a Mulan, and it was a struggle. And then now here he is in
yeah,
Junior
Franco.
Franco.
I mean,
Here
getting
he
the
is
3
in second
wins
place.
at first
Sounded
when
intense.
I'm telling you, when I first like going in, I was like 3 wins. Everyone's doing that. No, they're
Yeah.
not. No, you're not. It is rough out here, and it's rough. So whatever DLC you go to, guys, whatever DLC,
Yeah.
just you're gonna be fighting for it, and
Card
everyone
games
is.
always require a lot of luck to go with your skill and hard work. So
So I just make sure you're grinding and everything, even if it's just for the three wins. Don't
yeah.
take it lightly. So
And if you don't get them, don't beat yourself up too much. There's
they're
next
gonna hand them
time,
out.
it's
They
just
handed them out in the
around.
Affinity event. That's how I got my 2.
Oh, nice.
So yeah.
This
So
will
you have
start our
another
theme
chance.
of everyone kind of playing a pile and a lot of inable tech cards, something I've always championed. In this list, we got the 1 Ursula, the 1 jump, 2 TikTok, 2
The 2
magical
magical
maneuvers.
maneuvers,
Like
which
kind of became his card for the run, which was nice.
the magical maneuver, someone used that on me, and it kind of blew me away because I didn't think about that card.
It is a nice
And
little, tech card.
it
Pat
is
the guy
because
down, punch him, put my Hades back in him.
and just drop it again, and then just Hades another card while I slap that one. It was a
He
great
only
card.
opted for 6 1-drops with 2 Rafikis. He went 3-3 on the Iagos and Mims. He played all 4 bells, 2 Monstros, a big Elsa, 2 keepers, 2 second star. Seemed to be the kind of split what we're going for on the draws.
Yeah. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good list. I liked it a lot, especially the magical maneuvers. I mean, that's my favorite thing right there.
Yeah, I was very interested on like the numbers people would play TikToks and Iagos and stuff at as they were kind of falling out of favor.
I know I took TikTok out of my deck, but I don't know
Stuff
if its
big.
next set's gonna be the thing or not because with the whole evasive hate
Next
that's
set is
coming in.
crazy.
Yeah, so but this list is, I mean, it was a good list. I mean, as we saw.
We made it
So
to
second, right?
shout out to
Yeah.
Junior. Yeah, second.
I mean, the first place deck that we're about to see,
I'm
honestly,
gonna see Frank Karsten's mastery at work here. Just
because
picked up
that
60
list that we're about
cards.
to see is literally, yeah, picking up 60 cards and like
This is a real toolboxy.
how many like of
Only the
ones do you
4,
have?
no, 5 1-0s. But
5,
2 of them are
6,
big
7.
Tinkerbell and uninkable 5-drop scar, which is
Well,
insane.
you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Hey, I
6,
don't know
7.
where I got my number from. Your number is so much better.
Yeah, it's 7. 1 palace
I
guard
immediately
bet. So I
Yeah, the
mean,
one drops. Nice little mix up. Only said 3 Calhouns and 3 Docs are good enough for me.
I know a lot of people hate like are just hating Doc right now because it's like I see a bunch of Docs immediately, and it's like this sucks.
Yeah,
So, but I mean, I guess I mean it worked,
he did
right?
go Mr. Smee over far, which I think is just proven to be wrong because there is hate for a pirate, but Jafar chilling through.
I
It's
mean, he
very
played,
niche,
yeah.
though.
But I did like that other. I hate Doc. It ruined my weekend. I bet, and I bet that if you ask a lot of people on the DLC, it ruined their weekend too.
Sure, he won some
Probably,
games too. That's what he
yeah,
did. He
it
also
probably did.
opted for the 1/3 evasive 3-drop Tinkerbell, which is a card that in the very beginning people had thought about more, but he put that along with 1 Timothy for a little aggro to speed up those probably purple,
Game
green,
board
blue
game.
matches.
Yeah, I mean, he had everything, an answer for a
I guess
lot of it.
the joke online was like if Frank Carson played 4 of the card in the deck, it's probably broken because that is only Hook, Genie, Cobra, Dumbo, Genie, Elsa. Everything else cuttable.
Yeah, everything else
This is
you have to have
crazy.
those staples. Everything else, he's like just pick some cards and throw it in there.
Where it's 1 card less than like a Hoffen list. I almost feel like he had to have like done that on purpose. And
And
strength.
strength. Yeah,
That is broken card.
it's pretty good. I mean, this guy. I mean,
One
I know a lot of people are going to probably pick up this list in the next couple
bless
days
you.
because we're about to go in the next set and be like, if he won it, I got it too. Nah, you don't.
I can't wait
This
for another.
list,
Be playing 4 scars on their amethyst steel. Sick.
this list is good nuts. But good for him. I mean, he got it.
Yeah, Frank, great card game player. First 2-time DLC champion. Hall of
Yeah,
Famer for the game, the worst resource system of all time.
did it with a deck that
Yeah,
a lot of people were just like, that's bad. Play this
yeah,
deck
that's
instead.
true. People said it wasn't
And
good enough. The
he,
consistency didn't matter.
yep.
I think just how
Um,
different this list is opposed to like Oyola's and Jonathan Williams that made top 8 also is crazy. It just allows you to play what you want to play as long as you know you're 60. You should be in a good spot.
yeah.
Frank did
So
say that he thought Amber Steel like just has the best chance of winning, and he still decided to not go for it.
yeah, too many purple steel haters. I mean, after the DLC, I mean, it's probably not as much anymore.
They literally hate it because they like play Tiago list and they like didn't go well for them, and they're like, it sucks. I was like, nah, buddy, it's you.
Yeah, and it's crazy. So it's a good list, though. I mean, in that guy's head, though, I bet you every list is a good list. You know.
Yeah,
So
I think that is 100% true on Frank. World class cards. I think we're going to segue to some of our team members' lists. We had 3 players make day 2, including 1 into top cut. So that was very exciting for them all piloting
yep,
3 different decks, showing the variety of the format. First, we're going to have Zarek on. He was 165th playing Sapphire Emerald.
Hey, what's up?
What's going
so
on?
What's up?
I guess you can talk us through your list first and then your experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like Matt just mentioned, we had 3 players get into day 2. Both Corey, DJ, and I were all 7-1. I was taking a look at the standings, and it was funny because all 3 of us were sat next to each other. But Corey and DJ were the higher. You know how they typically pair like a high seed to a low seed in the same bracket or whatever.
Yeah.
Corey and DJ were the higher, and then I looked at mine. So at round 9, Corey was at 15th, DJ was at 36, and I was at 119. So I was definitely the lower. Oh wait, no, round 8. Hold on, round 8. Oh no, never mind. It was 29, 60, and 66 at the end of right now. So okay, yeah, we were fairly close. Corey was definitely higher on that. Um, But yeah, so go over the list a little bit, and then I'll run over my matches and how everything went. So going into the tournament, I made a decision to, thanks to some teammates and friends, to play a more consistent list. So that's why you see us on Donald Duck. Just try to, because originally I was on Pleakley. Pleakley has a lot more explosive play lines, but obviously it also is the worst possible top deck in your deck later on in the game. So it was something that we decided was probably not something we wanted for a 17 round event, ideally. So we went for a slower, more consistent list. So opted for Bobby over the developer brains. Obviously, aggro is very prevalent in the format, so we needed the Baymaxes. So we went for Bobby to have a little bit more card filtering to help with the uninkables early on, because obviously in this deck, all the uninkables are very late game cards, minus Baymax itself, which even then in a lot of matchups you don't even want it. Clarabelle's, I very heavily swear by 8 on the 1-drops, or 8 total small Clarabelles. It makes it so that you can just mulligan those cards away and not have to worry about finding them, 95% of the time or something like that. You're able to just keep your big Clarabelle and then just hope for the best. Obviously your Tipo and your ramps. I know a lot of people are off and on with Donald Duck. We found that it's card draw at the end of the day. It's not the best, but it's what we got, so we played with it. It's also something that was very difficult to remove in the format on turn 4, turn 3, turn 4 in that area. So it lets you set up Singing Under the Sea pretty reliably into the aggro matchups because they couldn't really deal with it. Kita was a last-minute add. I was playing against a teammate who was on Amber Steel, and it just felt like I didn't have enough powerful 4-drop plays prior. Or if I missed Baymax, I only had the 3 other Donald Ducks, so it was like if I didn't have Baymax and exactly Tipo, then I was not playing Under the Sea at a reliable time. So for anybody who's tested that matchup, you'll find that the window that you have to play Under the Sea is like a turn. It's a single turn because you either get sniped with Ursula or you get peated for 2 turns and then the game is over. So you really need to find it. So we opted for the war character that is good as far as establishing a body that will be there, that you can also guarantee that you can sing your welcome with. Also just something that's going to stick. And then if you're ever able to clear the board, it just gives you 3 lore and filters out your next 3 draws, which when every single turn up until turn 6, the plays that you make are so impactful. It was actually surprisingly good. Donald Duck was nuts. Surprisingly, so into Purple Steel, they get their hand down to 3 or 4 cards fairly early, and so you're more often than not off of the Clarabelle plan. You can get late game, you can play Clarabelle when they've drawn a few cards here and there, and you can stop chaos them or you're welcome them, and maybe you can get 2 or 3 cards. But Donald Duck letting you forego the Clarabelle plan, just go turn 4 Donald Drakita into turn 5, or 4 ink Donald Drakita turn 5, or 5 ink Donald into John Silvers and Basils and Hades for the rest of the game. It was it won me more games than I'd like to admit, because I played I think 5 Purple Steel matchups and I beat all of them except for Thiago in round 9. John Silver, there's a lot of lists that have been on 3. You can't do that. You need 4. The card does things in your deck that no other card can do. And same thing with Baymax. That's just something that you just reliably need on turn 4. So we have to be on 3. And it's kind of tough because it's you need it in very specific matchups. So if you lose the die roll, you're kind of priced into situations where you have to just keep it in the event that they're on aggro. And ideally, you have a Tipo in your hand, and as soon as they make their first ink, you can make that decision to ink the Baymax afterwards. Basil and Hades, I have a 3-3 split. So I found that 2 Hades just wasn't enough. Especially because Basil bouncing your own Hades is such a prevalent play line that you can make late game that, I don't know if, a lot of people are familiar with old red-blue items, but a lot of people would run 2 Age Automata, and you would end up inking 1 just like you would Tipo Hades, and you would just have 1 left in your deck, and you're like, well, this is what I work with. And so having a 3rd copy was just very, very impactful, especially having a tempo / removal spell / a threat that's stuck, because again, we are running Stop Chaos, so it's not as much as like just trying to set up a 2-card combo and wipe your opponent's board. It's, you know, a lot of tempo. Basil the same way. It wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, so I was content having it at 3 copies, and that was fine for me all weekend. Bend to My Will. There's definitely been a lot of lists that have been off of Bend to My Will. That card is an absolute necessary card. It makes your opponents, like, as soon as they see the card, that makes them play in a very odd manner to play around it. And if they're just not playing around it, you can punish them heavily. There's a lot of blurple matchups where I had where, you know, you just get lucky, you get to do the whole Clarabelle thing on turn 4 or 5, and then, you know, they get to Hades you a turn later, and then you're like, cool, bend to My Will in your hand because you just found it in those 5 cards or whatever it is that you drew, and then they're just top decking on 7 ink, and, you know, it's going to take them a very long time to rebuild. Besides that, 3 heads, 3 Under the Sea. You know, Under the Sea, just, again, it's one of those cards that you need to see it exactly when you need to see it, but other than that, you don't really want it. Because it's not very often that you're able to assemble both cards at the same time. That's really when you want it, mostly into Purple Steel, into Blurble, into these not aggro matchups. So, but yeah, that was the list.
That's cool.
Now, if
Anything
you,
else go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you could, not knowing what you knew now, like going back, is there any changes that you would make or would have made?
I think given the length of the tournament, this was the correct deck list to go with. The only possible consideration would possibly be to get a 3rd Donald Duck 5-drop in the list, just because of how impressive it was for me. I considered the 3-key to 2 Donald Duck 4-drop, but the Donald Duck 4-drop was just very necessary. It's one of those cards that, like, you're very afraid to play it, especially like given the certain situations. But you know, you are the first player that gets to use that card, and that is very impactful, especially when you're playing a Clarabelle deck. So you put your opponent in the position where, like, if you have a Clarabelle play, they're probably not even taking the card, and if they don't, then you can, you know, try to abuse that and take advantage of that. Other than that, I kind of swear by all the choices. I think 3 Hades is a must. I think 3 Baymax is a must. I think 4 John Silvers is a must. I think 3 4-drop Donalds is unnecessary. I was content with 3 Under the Seas. That being said, I only played against 1 Sea Dogs and no Amber Steel. Right? So I didn't have to see it as much as some other people on this deck might have needed to see it given their matchups. But even in testing, I felt that, you know, you could reliably find it, and if you didn't, you know, that happens. You can't always draw perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it is. And then, was there any specific match that you were just like, this sucks, besides, like, you know, like the Thiago?
Yeah, so I'll go over. I guess I'll go over my rounds. So round 1, you know, obviously these tournaments, you have a bit of jitters going into it. At least I do. And, you know, my opponent sits down, and I've always learned to, like, you know, your opponent is who it is. You just win regardless. That's what you have to do. And my opponent sits down with the Continental Baymax sleeves, and I'm like, all right, well, this person is definitely a competent player. You know, he knows what he's doing. So we don't get a free win there, right? And that was, yeah, right. Or he's got money. Now, he told me it was a player who top 16. I think he said one of the Canada tournaments, or the Canada, I don't really remember. And then, you know, did decently in Continentals, I believe. But yeah, so he sits down. He's on Blurple. He knows how to play the matchup well. He gets his hand down to 2 to 4 cards. Is managing resources very well with Genies and with Dumbos, keeping things in play to prevent board wipes. Unfortunately, I won the die roll for that game. I won game 1, and game 2, he does the whole, you know, dump my hand. He ends up, how'd the game go? So he goes turn 2 Tipo, and then turn 3, he has the option to play Elephant and bounce his Tipo, and he instead elects to ink Elephant, play second Tipo, and goes to 5 ink and has like 2 cards in his hand. And I'm like, okay, I'm just not going to play Clarabelle. We're just going to play big bodies. And my hand at the time was double Hades with a few other cards. So, you know, we're trading resources back and forth, whatever. We get to a point where I think I get a Clarabelle in play, and he has like a big Elsa or something like that later on. And I'm at 6 ink with 2 Hades in my hand. and I just need to find any inkable, and of course I draw the third Hades, and he's able to Hades me back beforehand, and I'm just always on the back foot for the rest of the game. So I ended up losing that one, and then game 3, I think I just had something else unfortunate happen. I don't really remember, but it didn't go my way, of course. And yeah, so I ended up starting off the tournament with a loss, and I was able to go 7-0 afterwards to get into day 2. So that was really impressive. But I think my matchups for the rest of the day were, I believe my day 1 matchups were 4 purple steel, 3 blurple, and 1 sea dogs.
Nice.
So yeah. So mostly mid-range matchups. Mostly, I would say purple steel is probably a little bit unfavored depending on the pilot. Blurple's a little bit favored depending on the build, and then sea dogs. I actually got very fortunate to win that match.
I was there for that one. That was actually a very interesting match to watch.
Yeah, so I lost die roll, and my soul read meter was not on point, so I decided to mull away a Baymax, and then he goes turn 1, play Daisy, and I'm like, oh, wish I had that, and then I proceed to draw the Baymax like in the next turn or something like that. So I was able to stabilize. He ripped my Under the Sea, but then I was able to find another one with the John Silver combination and just like stall him out at like 19. And then game 3, I almost punted the game away.
The game 3 was very interesting when I saw that. And honestly, at one point, I walked in and I was like, is this
game 3 because it's not looking good?
Yeah. And then I turn to talk, and then I come back, and it's like Under the Sea. And I was like, oh my gosh. That was the greatest thing ever. And this dude was just like, at that point, was just like throwing like John Silver's out, like, you're not getting this. And then when it was crazy.
So here's what happened with that. So I have Under the Sea in my hand, which in that matchup you don't want to have it because you want to be able to visions because they can Ursula take it. So I had it in my hand. So I'm like, surely he's going to Ursula me, right? So I have I think I had like a Donald or a John Silver. I just played something, bigger than 4 or bigger. And then I had a Donald as well in play, and then like 2 1-drops. I think, or maybe a Tipo and a Clarabelle, or Bobby and Clarabelle, or something like along those lines. And he proceeds, he's questing out. He doesn't have a Chromicon. And I make the decision of, I think I sang You're Welcome or something with my Donald, and then I put 2 damage with my 2 1-powered characters into one of the 03 ladies. And in my mind, it was, he had a bunch of 1-powered characters. I think he had like, it was just a bunch of 1-powered characters. I'm like, if he wants to spend 5 of his lore to be able to challenge and take out my 2 guys, I'm okay with that. My opponent proceeds to play Tramp, bumping his lady by like 4, or by bumping his Daisy by 4, into Bobby, I think, into 7-drop Tramp, 7-drop Tramp. So his 03 ladies are now 4 5s, and then his Daisy was like a 6 or something like that. Or he did it in some order to where it was massive. So he got to wipe my entire board minus my 1 body, so I no longer had a shift target to sing Under the Sea with. And so I guess he presents lethal. I'm able to, I think, like challenge one thing with my last character and play a John Silver to stall out the other thing. So he has the option to quest to 18 or quest to 17 and then take out my, I think it was like a 3-drop Clarabelle or something along those lines. So he takes out my 3-drop Clarabelle, takes out my 3-drop Clarabelle, quest to 17. And I have Under the Sea in my hand, and now, mind you, because of that turn that I bought myself, I'm at 7 ink now. So I need to draw Inkable. So I draw Inkable, I get to Under the Sea him. And now it's like he had a few cards left in his hand, maybe 1 or 2, because obviously he's playing around Under the Sea.
He had 1 card in hand. And
he
was able to play them because it was crazy. And then you kept just drawing like.
That's right. So Matt, he did Lilo lines because I guess at that point given that I had John Silver in play, he was trying to set up a go-go win. And so he just keeps bringing back Lilos on like 3 ink or something like that, or maybe 4 eventually, but like 3 ink, just buying back Lilos. My John's just taking it out. My John gets the 3 lore, or the 3 damage, and I pass. And I'm like, okay, just please no go-go this turn. So he doesn't have go-go, and I'm able to Basil my John Silverback and then replay it the next turn and just stabilize from there, and he had no outs. Yeah. But I got super duper lucky in that.
It was
So
a
that was my
crazy match to watch.
yeah. It felt good. I also think he punted. There was a point where maybe there was a point where he had a Chromicon and he bounced back my Clarabelle so that I couldn't, like, I guess because it was my biggest singer at the time, but it had a one-drop Clarabelle underneath it, so I was able to banish the Chromicon because my original playline was going to be to basil my own one-drop Clarabelle and replay it, and because I didn't have to do that, I think I was able to use it on something else. But yeah, so that was my top eight, or that was my day or 8 matches on day 1. Day 2 started me playing Thiago. That was just, a little bit unfortunate. I lost die roll, and then I missed ramp game 1, which Purple Steel is already a tight matchup, especially like, if they are on like 4 rows and 4 Cobra, then it's probably, it's definitely not in your favor. I would maybe wager like 55-45, maybe a few percentage points higher for Purple Steel. Of course, depending on the pilot, but it's Thiago, so he's going to play, as best as possible.
Yeah.
So I miss ramp. I'm just on the back foot the whole game. I think I go, I think I go visions into sail, into like turn 4 Donald Duck, the 5-drop to ramp. But obviously I didn't have a body because I didn't get to play a 4-drop or any 3-drop Clarabelles or anything like that. So he was able to just go wide, strength my Donald Duck, and then one Hades a turn wasn't going to get me from there because he established an Yzma and I just wasn't able to answer. Because I think I Hades like a genie, and then he plays an Yzma, and I have a John Silver left over or something along those lines, and it doesn't stop the ability.
Dom was hoping you would beat him. He was expecting you to win against Thiago, he says. It's crazy.
If I won the die roll or found ramp, I probably had a pretty good shot. Game 2 was just a steamroll. I had, typical curve, and I had Stop Chaos in his tracks. So I was just able to bounce, I think it was 3-drop Genie and Dumbo, and then just draw 4. And so from there, we just, play the resource game. We don't have to play the Clarabelle game anymore. Yeah. So ended up losing that. So Corey and DJ won their first match. So I was the one that finally lost. Because since round, I want to say round 4 of the tournament, Corey had just picked up his first loss, or maybe it was round 3. So DJ and all of us were X1. And so every single round we were checking in with each other, just still X1, still X1, and we were trying to see who was going to be the first one to drop off. So nobody did until day 2, and then of course I was the first one to drop off. The next round, I played Blurple, round 10. I bodied that 2-0. I think I was on the draw even. He just had a typical standard hand. He didn't empty his hand quick enough. I think he played a Genie on 4, which is the worst thing you can do against Green-Blue. So that was easy. And then the next round, I played my first Green-Blue mirror, and I lost the die roll, and I made a really big mistake. I had the opening nuts. Everything I wanted, ship Clarabelle, you're welcome, yada, yada. The issue is, of course, I was on the draw. And so I elected to, you're welcome, my opponent's Clarabelle, because they only had 1 on 4 ink, rather than go sail, double ink, play 3-drop Clarabelle. And in hindsight, I think in that situation, I'm supposed to just make him have it. Because if he has Clarabelle, it's not great for me. He gets to draw a few cards, probably 3 or 4 cards, but I also get to play my own Clarabelle. You're welcome his, get back up to card parity and have board presence. Whereas because You're welcome to him, I didn't get to establish my own Clarabelle. And he was on the shift Basil line, so he was able to I think You're welcome, and then next turn he went Kita plus, or sail Kita into just start hard casting 7-cost stuff with the 2 extra cards that I gave him. And meanwhile I was down to Clarabelle plus 1 other card, and I was on 5 ink or something like that. So it was just a mistake. And then game 2 I mull against 7 into, I actually remember this hand. My hand was 1-drop Clarabelle, 1-drop Clarabelle, 1-drop Clarabelle, Bobby, 3-drop Clarabelle, sail, or not sail, visions, and Baymax or Basil or something like that. So horrendous. I go turn 1 Basil or Bobby, discard my own inkable. Turn 2 visions, trying to find either ramp or 7-drop Clarabelle. If we have to play fair, it's fine, but we have to find one. I see neither in the top 5 cards. So that's 12 cards I'm looking for. I see neither of them, and then I just get bodied from there. So that put me at X3. That was my pretty much out of it.
Yeah.
If I won my next one, there was a very small chance that maybe I could have gotten top 64, but my breakers were not great given that I lost so early on. And I think Thiago, after beating me, proceeded to lose twice or maybe lose once. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I just checked up with him, and I'm like, "How you doing?" He's like, "Not good, man." I was like, "Oh man." So that didn't help my breakers either.
Yeah.
And then of course go ahead.
I was gonna say, but I mean, you learned from that, like from all those losses or matches in general.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like I was in that Clarabelle mirror. I was just trying to mitigate and buy myself time when in reality I had what I needed, and I needed to just realize that and just be like, if he has exactly shift Clarabelle and you're welcome as his two out of his last 3 cards, then he's got it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't have that, then I'm way ahead, and I should have put myself in that position. And then what was I going to say? Oh yeah, my last round. My last round was against Blurple, but it was the most screw you green blue Blurple list I've ever seen in my life. It was on multiple Kitas, like 3, maybe even 4 of the 5-drop Donald, which if you don't know, it just gets them earlier to Hades and Monstros and Elsas and stuff like that.
Yep.
And so this guy goes, I have like Clarabelle, you're welcome. And he goes turn 4 Kita or turn 3 Kita, turn 4 Donald. And I think I missed ramp. And so I eventually get to shift Clarabelle, you're welcome him. And he goes, cool, untap, ink to 8, Monstro your Clarabelle. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'm just dead. Sick. Yeah. So it was really unfortunate because he just got the double ramp. Or I guess triple ramp because he went Sail, Kita, Donald, and then went to 7 on that turn. Meanwhile, typically in a Blurple matchup, if they go Monstro after you've gotten Clarabelle value, you're usually fine with it because they get to like 3 for 1 you, but they're discarding 3 cards and you're up to 6 cards, they're down to 2, and you're like, all right, we'll play a fair game from this. And so that happened, and then game 2, like something similar happened, and I just lost. So I ended up going 8-4. Obviously not the worst, very happy with how day 1 went. The only play decision that I didn't like was against that green blue. Everything else I think I played fairly tight. Again, mulligans are very hard with green blue. The Sea Dogs mulligan the Baymax, I got paid off by finding the other one, so that was very fortunate. But yeah, very happy with the list. Very happy with how I played.
Awesome.
For a long tournament, I don't think I changed anything.
That's awesome. Good.
Great
And
run.
then, you were able to get your Mulan and your Pegasus, and I know you got 10,000 tickets from getting day 2, so you're able to do a lot of stuff, and I did enter in some side events. Yep.
Yes, sir.
And you were able to do a lot of stuff with that. So
yeah, let's talk about those side events, right? That so I decided to play Ink Sprint Infinity, which is best of 1 Infinity because it's all I had time for after I played my Swiss rounds. But of course, I didn't have my Infinity deck because this guy had my deck. And I'm like, he's like, don't worry about it, dog. I got you. I brought green or blue red items as well. Just go grab it from the hotel. I'm like, cool. I go back there. This man brought 1 prep, and 3 6-drop Tamatoas. Who plays 3 6-drop Tamatoas?
I didn't think I was
7 cards.
I didn't think I was gonna play in the event.
Oh my god! So you brought 57 out of 100 out of 60 cards. Sick.
I was gonna borrow stuff.
Yeah. So luckily the event was no deck list, and I was able to like find some. We have some buddies that come play our tournaments from Virginia, and I found them like, please, do you have preps and Tamatoas? And he's like, yeah, I got you. And then I had to go to a vendor and have him find an unconventional tools for me.
That was rough. Nobody had that.
Well, yeah, one of them had it. Because so I brought it because I was expecting a lot of turn 3 wheels because of the whole Aurora aerial. So I'm like, we need to be able to get these items out, get these coals out before we get wheeled. But I assumed that he brought some, but he brought 1. He brought 1 tool. Oh no, he brought none. I had the extra tool.
Go buy some foil.
I thought that card is dumb. And I didn't run into anything like that. And the Steel Song players that I did do it on, I needed them to wheel me. My hand was buns. But then I won those matches. So. But yeah,
Infinity's fun. I played against Blue Steel 3 times, and I CC'd them a total of like 11 times. It was great.
So overall, your experience with Milwaukee, the DLC, and how Pastime ran it, you had a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure you said the same complaints. 12 hours for 8 rounds is never ideal. That was really rough.
The link was insane to me. Somebody from home, I was like, "There's no way I could do this." Like, 2 days, 12 hours back to back.
Yeah, no, it was definitely rough. I think a lot of it had to do with like all the card sharking that was going on with the enchanteds and stuff. So people were forced to proxy out their decks and go to time constantly. There are also 60-minute rounds, which of course is great because it mitigates the number of draws. But still, like when you have 60-minute rounds followed by announcements of them trying to find 47 people that didn't submit their results,
Yeah, that part.
like
I mean, there was a lot of times when like Ravensburg did go down and they weren't available. You could go to a judge. A, you could submit it through a judge. B, you could find your table if it didn't work. I mean, they were
yeah,
doing a lot of good things, and that I mean,
yeah.
so I mean, those small things like that, it was kind of wonky, but overall, like they did a very good job running that event. Like,
Yeah, no, I think they did well with what they had, but
yeah,
obviously you want the play hub to work well. You don't want to like have it crash every round or have it not load for half the people and then have to go to paper deck lists.
at least it
You
didn't
know,
restart. You know, we had to redo it
yeah,
around.
no, yeah, for sure. It definitely
So,
definitely didn't have any
They
of
did.
those
They
hiccups.
did
But
test events already for that.
now we did have a teammate who apparently like reported a match and then PlayHub decided to report it the opposite or like submit it the opposite because both players like said that they showed submission and like did it in front of each other and then they reported completely differently. So and they didn't catch that for a few rounds.
That's a
yeah.
shame.
So yeah. Now as far as the side events go, I heard a lot of complaints about that. Wait times and just like people obviously like as attendees, they scheduled, a 1 p.m. and then like a 4 p.m. or a 5 p.m., whatever. And their 1 p.m. event wouldn't start until like 2:15. So now they're
Yeah,
not going to be able to do their next event.
I did hear about a lot of
that's
that.
always a
Like,
pain.
Yeah. And they weren't offering refund. Like they offered refunds for the Sunday event, the Infinity, like if you day two and stuff like that. That event makes sense, but they weren't offering refunds for these smaller events. And people were just like, well, it's not my fault that their event fired an hour or hour and a half late.
but I mean, I'm
That's
assuming with all the
unfortunate.
feedback they're getting, they're going to be working on it, and then like it's just going to go up from here. 'Cause,
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I certainly think they will, but it's just a matter of like there's only three. You had like 2 years to. I guess maybe Pastimes had less time than that, but like us as players had like 2 years break. Expected like this big, everything to run smoothly, and it just wasn't it, and it's you know
but I mean, congratulations though on your
thank
place.
you.
Yeah, I mean, you did a phenomenal job
Great run.
representing Team Ohana. Had a great run. I know
Yeah,
when you do
absolutely.
go to Richmond, you're gonna definitely get there. So again, congratulations.
Catch me in Infinity with when Hiram does not get banned and have a
Exactly.
good time.
We can go to the Indiana
So,
one.
Yeah, exactly.
Indianapolis.
so
Indiana.
definitely now we're gonna go ahead and talk about another great story. Is here Corey Smash, who honestly one of the greatest runs with Purple I've seen. I don't care what anybody else says. Last minute decisions to change deck, and it took him all the way to where he was at. Got his promo that he wanted and everything. So please, yeah, there it is. It's beautiful, honestly. So just go ahead and let's start like talking about your experience, your decisions, everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think my decisions kind of started before the event. We were like last minute brainstorming in the hotel room, and I was already on like a little bit different list because I was on Tukita.
Wait, you have your list pulled up.
Let's see it. Here it is.
Well, yeah, there it is.
42nd, right there.
But I was on Tukita. I was, even though I was afraid of Amber still, and I was afraid of dogs and Emerald still, aggro, Chromacon. That was kind of like my tech for that matchup. Because obviously Kita has Ward. It's a 3/3 stat line, which allows me to trade into their little weenie characters.
Weenie.
And then if I can answer their little characters, I can get to the point where I'm able to achieve board parity with them. And that's when the Elsa, the Shift Elsas, the Monstros, and get to do their thing. Is also warded, so Emerald Chromacon is not able to target it to bounce it, which was my big thing for Sea Dogs because I got bodied by Sea Dog Chroma Dogs substantially leading up to the going to Milwaukee, and it was just rough. And then
Go fast.
yeah, and then the second Elsa was a similar circumstance. I wanted to play it to further try to increase my chances against Amber Steel, because I feel like your best line against Amber Steel is like 1-drop Sail, second 1-drop Ink, play Dumbo, or Elephant if you have Elephant, and it forces them to like. I think Elephant's obviously like ideal because it like usually can't strengthen Elephant or Kita in that situation. And then that leads you into Elsa, followed by Shift Elsa, which it gives you like 2 turns essentially to catch up. Because they're not able to quest, so you're taking typically 5 to 6 lore off the board for 2 turns. And being as statted as it is, it works out really nicely. I also opted to switch to Royal Guard over Rafiki, just because. Yeah, I liked Rafiki initially, and then Royal Guard having the 1 power actually comes up a lot in that matchup, because if you're able to go like turn 1 Royal Guard and then like on the draw, you go turn 1 Royal Guard and they're like able to turbo out their Kita. You can. Or not Kita. They're able to turbo out Tiana. You can hypnotic strength the Royal Guard, and that allows you to kill or banish the Daisy that turn. So the next turn when they clap back, it'll have 1 damage. So if you're able to like get the Elephant out, it's able to evenly trade on the following turn by paying the 3. So it was just like a small thing in terms of why I played the card. I switched to Visions over Develop. I think Develop was a good choice for like a longer term event because it simplifies your decision making. So it's like less of a mental strain, but I've been playing card games for a really long time, so I didn't think that was going to be a big issue for me, just in terms of like endurance, I guess. So I wasn't too worried about it, and being able to dig 5 over just 2 is substantial. I did opt last minute. We were having a discussion about playing Dig a little deeper, and I feel like if I wanted to play Dig, I have to cut an uninkable, and that uninkable that caught the stray was Genie. It's the logic behind it was we only really want to play it on the play in the mirror a lot of the times to like help with the evasive war and to like go like Genie, Elsa, Dumbo, double breaking or making history, draw 2 cards. It's like the ideal play line. But in every other matchup, you're kind of leaning towards Elephant, like for Amethyst Steel, Amber Steel, Blue Steel. In my experience, you're leaning towards Elephant. For Blue Green, we don't want to play Genie because it forces us to draw. So it puts a card in our hand that we don't want them to get off of the Big Clarabelle. So it's kind of one of those things where it just kind of made sense given the decks we were expecting to be there. And it was a crazy card for me. My first matchup of the day, I played against Amber Steel, and I was able to shift Elsa to stun their board in game 3. And then the next turn, I top deck Dig and was able to find a second Shift Elsa and a Hades. So I was able to clear their board with the one I had, and then play it to tap down their next 2 cards they played out, and then Hades, their vertical character that couldn't answer or couldn't stun. So it was just worked out a lot.
That's
I love
awesome.
the inclusion of Dig with 4 characters that can sing it on the loan.
Oh yeah, it's really good.
Really well into it. How did you feel about 6 1-drops?
So I thought it was fine, honestly. I think honestly the only time I really regretted that decision, I don't think it would have made too much of a difference, was at the end of day 2, after my round 10 matchup. I knew that I just needed one more win to secure my spot in top 32. And I just was like praying that I dodged aggro, or if I did get paired into aggro, that I would win the die roll. And then both of those rounds, I got paired into aggro and then lost the die roll. So being able to secure, if I was on like a seventh to 8th 1-drop, maybe helps that matchup a little bit. But I don't think I really missed them. I don't think it would have made too much of a difference.
Gotcha.
The deck doesn't care too much about the 1-drop except for those matchups, and I do agree with you. I don't really feel like they push it in our favor anyway. So
Yeah.
I think my favorite card over the weekend was definitely Hades. I think Hades is bonkers.
good.
Can you elaborate why? Like, is there
So
any
we bring on
specific
the
match?
last guy who wanted to play 3.
Yeah. Can you elaborate to why that Hades is, and can you like tell us a story about
So
I don't know, like your favorite Hades moment?
So it wasn't necessarily my favorite Hades moment, but it was like I had a matchup against a Blurple Mirror in round 6. A super nice guy, but game
Not
one,
anymore. Not anymore.
after my mulligan, I had double ramp into Elsa, like 5-drop Elsa into Hades. It was like my only like play line that I was ever going to be able to achieve with my hand, because it was double Hades after mulligan, and I had like no draw, nothing. It was just like 1-drop, Tipo, Hades, Elsa, and I was like, this is great. And I opted to just go for the line aggressively, and I ended up playing all 4 Hades against that guy. That game, game 2, I play against him. I miss ramp, but I also see all 4 Hades that game. And then game 3, I've hit ramp on the play, and then for 4 turns, I went Hades, elephant bounce, play Hades, drew my 4th Hades him again, elephant off the top, bounce play, and I think I Hades him like 7 or 8 times in game 3, and he was just never able to like maintain a board state, so I was able to get the lore and kind of like just out tempo him.
Is there any consequences for doing that so many times to one person?
I got beat up. Gerald, who was with us, he was on Amethyst still, and he was like, I hate Blurple players, the way you guys just be hazing everybody's characters over and over and over again. It's like the card's so broken and abusable. It was a good time. He was like, I love you right now because you're doing well. He was like, but out in the streets, I'm gonna get you.
It was crazy how many times man was able to drop a Hades. I think it's where all my Hades went.
Yeah,
at least we know who snitched and got you deck checked now.
Actually, I'm not even gonna lie. I did get deck checked the next round after that game.
No, that guy went straight to the judge.
I knew it, yeah.
He said, "Sir, that guy right there, 8 Hades? I don't think so. I
actually
played
said
it
that
more than 12 times in the one match."
I actually said that when I like was sitting with my opponent when we got deck checked, and I was like, I'm not even gonna lie. I probably deserve this after the amount of times I hated my last opponent.
That guy was on Reddit. I don't know how he did it, but Hades banned.
That was.
I agree. I hate Blurple players.
That next round was probably the most stressful experience I had the whole tournament. I got deck checked, and
you had a re-sleeve, right?
So it was more than that. So I got deck checked. They pulled me to the side. So I'm like, oh god. Me and my opponent were like talking. I was like, man, I was like, I had already won game 1 and we're going into game 2. And I was like, man, it would be like so unfortunate if like something was wrong with either one of our decks, especially if it was yours, since I was able to get game 1. Like I would just like, I feel like I would feel bad taking like a victory 2-0 like on a registry error or something like that. And he was like, yeah, he was like, I just don't want to. He was like, I would never want to win that way. And then I was like, and then it came back and they gave my opponent his deck and they're like, Corey, can you come with us? And I was like, no, it was me. And so I'm like spaz. I'm like thinking worst case scenario. I'm like, my dream run, I'm X1, like just need 2 more wins to like day 2, like lock in day 2, or 1 more win to lock in day 2. And like that'd be like my biggest accomplishment for Lorcana, like which was like a big deal for me going into it. And they're like, yeah, you're playing a 59 card list. And I was like, what do you mean? They're like, you're missing a Basil. And I was like, the 1-drop 2-1. And I was like thinking in my head, I was like, maybe I dropped it like when I was shuffling or like putting it in my bag or something. So I was playing 5-1. I don't know if I was playing how long it was. I'm assuming it was the round before. I know it was the mirror prior, so it came up a lot in that matchup. So I don't know if like it was just like maybe I like
probably some salty guy that like I don't know got Hades 8 times and was like, I'm about to eat this dude's card.
Yeah, but I had to run to a vendor, and then like I found a vendor. First off, criminal. This man was selling unfoiled basils for $1.
He knew it too. $1. He knew. He was like, "Oh man, this man needs
so
it."
I had like $1 on me. I gave him $1, and I was like, "Wait, my whole deck's double sleeve. I don't have any extra inners." So I'm like texting in the group chat. I was like, "Who has an inner? Who has an inner? I need an inner." And I'm running to the vendors. I'm like, "Do you guys have a sealable inner? Because it needs to be a sealable inner because all my cards are in sealable inners." And like one of the vendors was like, "Oh, we don't sell those diaper sleeves." And I was like, "I don't have time for this."
I need this now.
So I go back to the judges table. I was like, I have the basil. Nobody had a sealable inner. Nobody that is responding to me in text, I'm assuming, because they're all in their games. And they're like, well, you're already at like, we'll just have to unsleeve it. And so like me and like 2 judges are like undoing all my inner sleeves. And I had a 25-minute time extension, which is absurd.
Crazy.
I get a game loss, obviously. Completely deservedly. I accept that's my fault. I should have like double checked my deck after each round.
After that 8 Hades, yeah.
So I went to game 3 immediately. I got to be on the play into a semi-favorable matchup, being purple still, and my draws were not very good. But my opponent got to 19. And then after he got to 19, my deck was like, all right, time to lock in. And I drew like shift Elsa into sing second star, find Hades second Elsa, sing a second star, like play out a bunch of bodies. And he was just never he couldn't draw his white rose. He was on 4 white rose, had only played 1 up until that point. So I got very lucky in that. My opponent was happy for me. He was like, I think you deserved it after what you went through. And then, yeah, I think going into day 2, I was super excited because I was like, I've already kind of accomplished my goal to get day 2. I was like, it would just be like incredible to like get my invite because I set the goal for myself at the beginning of the season. I wanted to earn my invite to the CCS Invitational, and I wanted to earn my invite to Continentals. And I was really close. So I play the first round of day 2. I play Carlos. I think his name was Carlos. It was like something the bomb or something like that. And that was the guy that ended up in second place. My next round after him, I played against Frank Karsten. I 2-0'd Frank Karsten. And then that's when I was like, I was already on cloud 9, and I was like, all right, just let me dodge aggro for one of the next 2 rounds. And unfortunately, I played Emerald still the next round. I believe his name was like Dakota Browning, and I lost there. I didn't see Kita against the matchup game 3. I took him to game 3, and I was stabilizing, and then he had no cards in hand, drew Doc, and then off the Doc he drew 2 cards. The next turn he goes draw for turn, play Mulan, filter a card, play Bobby, filter a card, play Bobby, filter a card, play Emerald Chromacon. And when the Emerald Chromacon came down, I was like, I need a Hades to get rid of this Doc so I can start answering these characters and just like chipping away. And I never drew a Hades. Didn't see a Hades that time. So the first time on the day, it betrayed me. And it is what it is to go into the next round. And again, I was just like, I look around, my opponent's already setting up. I'm seeing them shuffle. It's a Blurple mirror versus, and then like to my right, it's another Blurple mirror. And I'm like, all right, I'm in here. I was like, I just got to get this one last win in. And I think at the time I looked right before the last round, and I was 15th and standing. My only loss on day 1 was the guy named Shane, and he was like the 7th seed or something like that. So I was like, my breakers are super good. I just have to like get this one game. And my opponent sits down and we go through it. We set up. I lose the die roll, and he goes Ink Rhino, play Aurora, and I'm just looking at my hand, and I have no 1-drop. Tipo my ramp. I don't have an elephant. I only have Dumbo as a 4-drop, and then it's like Elsa Bell, and I'm like, this is fine if I can get to that point. And then he goes Aurora Quest, play Tiana. Next turn, Aurora Quest, play second Tiana, play Daisy, and I was like, yeah, I can't do anything about that. And then next game 2, I am able to like shift Elsa, stun his board, sing second star, find second shift Elsa, Hades, into the unknown. So I was able to like completely wipe him and just like answer his characters as he played them for like 2 turns. And then game 3, I look at my hand, no 1-drop, no ramp, no into the unknown. And he goes turn 1 Daisy, turn 2 Daisy Aurora, turn 3 Tiana Daisy. And I was like,
you got it.
I was like, congratulations on top 32. I was like, I shook his hand. I was like, I don't want to be salty. I was like, it just that one wasn't a game. I could never had a chance at that. So it kind of like one of those things where it's out of your control and you just kind of have to like brush it off.
Yeah. It's a rough way to end an amazing run against wins against both first and second place.
Yeah. It was like kind of
unbearable. And every Friday night match, talking shit if I beat Frank Karsten.
Yeah.
That would be my life then. Just go into every shot.
Be like, yeah, I beat Frank Karsten once. You know, that's like
not that
that was my that's like my like internal like dilemma with it after I lost. I was like, man, I had like such a high, I just needed to dodge aggro, and then I lost to it. And then like obviously my deck was kind of, I feel like it was a little catered towards the mirror. I had some slight text for specific aggros. Just didn't get to see him again in that game 3, and I don't think it would have mattered even if I did. And so it was rough. And then seeing the finals like after I had already left, and it was Frank versus Carlos, and I was like,
I beat those guys.
Like I beat both of these dudes. I was like, so that could be me right there. So it was like sublime, but also like kind of like a you should have just got there moment, you know. So it was like a tale of two feelings, you know.
It was bittersweet.
I mean, 42nd, 2,000 players. I mean, you gotta be like Dom said. You gotta feel very proud of what you did.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely proud. I kind of had a conversation with Tanya, our team manager, before like a couple weeks ago before the DLC, where I was like, I definitely feel like I'm like of the travel team members, I'm like the only person that hasn't really like proven themselves because I didn't have like a Let It Go or like a Day 2. So I was like, I want to like, my big thing is to just put my name on the map for the season. I think I was able to achieve that here. So
Definitely.
happy with the
Definitely a
performance.
great start to the season.
Richmond's
Yeah.
mine, top 32, going to Continentals.
There it is. That's all it is, Is there anything you would have changed, like, afterwards of this deck? Like maybe if I would have added this or anything like that, knowing what you know now?
I would have taken Zarek's matchups where he only played aggro once in all the rounds.
That's a good one. I like that. Okay.
No, honestly, very satisfied with the list. I think it played super smooth. I was like missing. I in the Blurple Mirror that I hazed the guy like 12 times. I also missed ramp. I missed ramp game 1 and 3, and I was still able to win those 2 games. So I think I was just playing out of my mind because I feel like if you miss ramp and your opponent doesn't, you should just lose. I think the list performed exactly how I wanted it to. I wouldn't change anything.
Awesome.
Love that.
I would convince DJ. I would convince DJ to give me his Elsa mat.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Everybody in the chat, let's vote on it.
Yeah.
That thing, when he rolled it out, I was like, "Oh man, that's so beautiful."
It is a nice, very nice mat. I love seeing it
It's
too.
prettier than I thought it would be, can't lie.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
mean,
he still has it. I think he said he's gonna play on it, which is awesome because that's what I would do. There he is. He has it up. That's it.
He's going to
Disneyland. You were talking about my mat?
Oh,
it's a beautiful thing.
No,
Guys just been using this as a blanket sleeping.
Sleeping nice.
Yeah, I bet.
All
It's a
right.
nice mat. And
It's beautiful.
You earned it. It was crazy. He's hanging it back up, guys. So
Yeah. I'm at Disneyland already. I'm waiting for Continentals.
I'll pass the reins. Let the champ speak.
Here he is.
To interviewing
Top
DJ
16.
here. Top 16, 30th overall in top 32, Amethyst Steel. Tell us about your experience. Tell me about how you did a take back.
Oh, okay. We'll start with that.
I was like, this is the story Lord Karma the community wants to hear. Take back gets you in the top 32.
Yeah. No, I don't think it ultimately
I'm just messing with you.
affected that, but did utilize the take back rule that I didn't think I was going to, but I was kind of like, okay, this was the exact scenario that they were talking about. So it was my round 2 opponent. I was playing against Sapphire Steel, and me not knowing all the details of the little tiny jasmines. The jasmine, I know that one heals and the other gives resist until your next turn. I was not aware about that. And I thought it only gave resist on their turn. And so I start to challenge, and I was like, I'll deal, 3 damage to the Hades. And he was like, it'd only deal 2. And I was like, okay. Take back.
No, nothing. Just we're taking that back.
I'm crashing out, dude.
And I was like, he was a very nice guy. And I straight up said, I was like, we can call it judge if you want, but that's the new rules. And I said it just very confidently too.
Take back. I love you looked at them and said take back.
That's great. Because if I'm not mistaken, round 1, they're explaining this rule, right? In detail about this. And everyone, I remember my opponent on round 1 was just like, oh, I can't stand that. I think that rule's bad, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I was also in the same boat. And then it was like, okay, well, this is kind of the exact scenario. I also saw an example later where it did not come into play. And I kind of said this out loud next to the judge, which probably maybe influenced their decision to not allow the take back, because I'm worried about a slippery slope with that rule.
Yeah.
Opponent, person next to me, inks, I think, a Dumbo, and then that inking is done, and then they exert their ink and play an action. Realize that opponent says Pete is in play. I just played Pete. You can't play that action. So with the take back, obviously the card, I think it was strength, goes back to hand, but they wanted to take the ink back that they had inked that turn. And to me, I was like, that's two separate instances
Actions.
of
Yeah.
a play being made. The inking and then
I
pause.
mean, yeah,
Another
I mean,
action, game action was made. So that to me is too far of a take back because there's one more game action. If it's the
immediate,
if he inks something, what they were saying with this new rule, if he inked that Dumbo, then realized before any other game actions within a undetermined amount of time, realized I didn't want to ink that, then under the new rules, technically, I believe he would be able to technically pull it back, but he made another game action that then influenced it.
Yeah, you can only take back an immediate action for sure.
Dang, that profile pic of Corey's. Saw it pop up there. Getting me flustered on stream. Anyway, yeah, so that was my one take back story. So it was interesting. Hopefully I don't get, disowned and rescind my
not by anybody here. That's crazy. That's part of the rules. And there's a lot of people who they do that. So I mean, to take it happens.
It's so slippery. Like the guy that you mentioned, I was like, I would just pick the Dumbo up and be like, I didn't ink it. Like anybody, what do you do at that point? Like,
just
judge's discretion, like, quite scares me.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, judge's discretion. You could have like a judge on a bad day, and it's like, nah, dude.
Yeah, and I think that's where
I need like booth review.
Yeah, instant replay. Yeah, I think that's where I think the more organization of like if we had, because I don't think there's any judges program technically still.
Don't think so.
Because I think the main thing is consistency. Because I'd hate to see, someone make a ruling and then get
another judge
knocked out, and then someone else made a ruling and for someone else, and they're like
announcement of takebacks like the week of Milwaukee, right?
Yeah, but then the day of Milwaukee, they start
they're like pushing it more.
Yeah, and then they start talking about it like round one in the player meeting. They
know about it, and they're gonna start trying to take advantage of it, and like it's just gonna be the whole thing because it is set up in a more friendly way, and the people that want to scum it will scum it.
Yeah, and I think that's also the thing of if it, because they did say if it's like, I'm pretty sure they did, but if it's like repeat offenses and like where it's like constantly this person's getting judge called for trying to take things back, because I could definitely see the slippery slope being also, I'm going to make sure that they remember that they have a Pete in play. I'm going to try to play this action. I'm going to try to do this, even though they have resist. I know that, but do they remember if I just do things really quickly?
Yeah, my fear is like you ink a card, you take 30, 45 seconds, you kind of feel out how your opponent like reacts to you inking the card, and then you're like, never mind, I want that back now, because you were kind of happy that I inked that. Like,
yeah, I didn't
there's just so much stuff like that. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, I could see that happening with a lot of people.
I saw that a lot of marked cards, a lot of enchanteds were getting proxied out and not.
So a lot of
those 5-drop Elsas from the box are like unplayable.
Yeah, a lot of people were like just like saying like, "Oh, marked card." That judge, the guy had marked cards, and in reality, it was just like, nah. So a lot of people just doing a lot of shady shit. So it went both ways. It was crazy. I mean, we saw one happen, and I guess the guy got. I mean, it was like a whole thing. Someone called judge. Judge went. They looked, and it was just stupid. I was just like, this is crazy. It took forever. So, but the judges are doing a really good job with everything going on so far. I mean, a lot of the judges, took a lot of the time and paid attention with a lot of things going on. So, big shout out to them.
Yeah, no, definitely always respect your judges. And yeah, overall, everyone that I kind of interacted with, all the judges I spoke to were great. And I think sometimes
very nice
with the lack of a judges program too, obviously they're not going to want to make the incorrect call. So definitely some of those always are going to be judgment calls. And when in doubt, I know they were reaching out to their head judge and making sure that both parties understood what was going on. Because I had an instance in my top 16 match where my opponent top deck, I believe, a Finders Keepers, and then played it, drew 5 cards, and I was like, "How many cards did you just draw?" And he goes, 5, and I know it was just, and I was like, "You thought it was second star to the right, like."
And there's Amethyst Steel deck. That's crazy.
What?
And there's Amethyst Steel deck?
No, he was playing Blurple.
He was playing Blurple, yeah.
Yeah, it was the second place. Carlos. Really nice guy. Felt bad because then he felt very flustered because it was a true just mistake. He accidentally drew 5 cards. And then judge was there and said, okay, let's get the details. And ultimately decided that he had 1 card in hand plus the 5 that he drew. He should have a total of 4 cards in hand. So instead of 6. So instead they laid them out and I rolled a die and we just randomly put those 2 that I rolled the die for shuffled them back into the deck because there are no effects in Blurple that's going to like put a card to the bottom of the deck. So it's not like it's going to mess with the randomness of the deck.
And you felt like that was completely fair, right?
Yeah, I think the only other thing would have been because there was that knowledge or something like that, there would be like, okay, shuffle all the cards back in the deck, draw the correct number, like 4. That's the only other thing resolution that I could think of. But overall, it was fine. Unfortunately, he still had that second star on the right. I was hoping to roll the die and get that second star. In the deck.
that one.
Yeah. But no. And then so
you should ask for a take back on that.
Never mind. Can I re-roll?
Yeah.
No. Second star definitely was backbreaking because he's played Finders Keepers, drew 3 cards ultimately, sang second star that he found off of there. Yeah, second card he drew off the Finders was second star. So his brain was just like, we're in there, we're drawing 5 cards.
Yeah.
So completely understandable. And no, opponent top 16. It was great. Game 3. And Winnie won, obviously. Just like I gave him dapped him up, and I'm old. I don't dap, and it gave a nice pop, and I was like, that, you did well, like, now go win it all. Like, if you're gonna beat me, go win as far as you can.
Yeah.
So no, I can't come back from Finders Keepers and just sing second star, and then next turn sing another second star, and he's sitting there with his deck in his hand.
It has the answers, so
yeah. I was like, I got 2 cards in hand, Doc.
Yeah, I was watching a lot of your matches, and it was crazy to see how well you played that. And I've heard from a lot of people, to play that type of deck, you have to be perfect with your lines, and you honestly were. And it was phenomenal to see. Like, if anybody would be like, I want to play Purple Steel, who should I watch? It would be you.
I appreciate that.
Just phenomenal. And to get how far you went the first time you went to a DLC was Vegas, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
No, I went to Atlanta. And that was when I actually met a lot of the Ohana group in person. Matt was like, hey, join this Facebook group. Facebook Messenger group.
And that's where you were sick, right? And I mean, you were like dying.
I wasn't sick for Atlanta. but I
Vegas.
I didn't
Vegas. Okay,
sleep great, and I woke up in Atlanta that morning. I was like, I have a feeling this isn't going to go well, and I got like 30 something points or whatever. So didn't do terrible.
Did you play an Atlanta song?
Yeah, I think I played Song. Yeah, I did. Of course, I played Song. I don't play. Didn't play anything else.
I thought that might have been too early.
No, and then Vegas. I was violently shaking on the plane right there, nose bleeding, fever like 102, 103, and then massive migraine while I was there. I was sitting there on the tables most of the day when I was in Vegas, and got to the round 9, the last round, and whoever won definitely got to let it go, and then if not, potentially squeak into day 2. It ended up being let it go, but still. And I queued into Ruby Sapphire, and I was like, dang. And he won game 1, and I was like, all right, I'll concede game 2. There's no reason, like neither of us get anything for drawing. So even if I were to have won game 2, and you got to let it go. So,
and then your next DLC was this one, right?
Did you win the roll?
I think I won the die roll, so I was on the play in game 1. So
and you said
yeah. So I was like, that was my one shot.
And I was like, you go first in game 1. So of course he bodies me in game 1, but I'm not gonna concede.
and then this is your third one, right? Milwaukee was your third DLC, or you had one?
Third DLC.
The third DLC, and you are already there. Like invite the Continentals, Elsa play mat.
The season.
Yeah. First one off the rip, you're there. You're in it to win it.
We kind of skipped past all the stuff. Do you want to talk about your day 1 experience and getting to 7-1?
Yeah. So started off the day for round 1 in Milwaukee with a loss. So I queued into Amethyst Sapphire, Amethyst Steel. So mirror match. I wish. But yeah, Amethyst Sapphire, Amethyst Steel, god dang. I was on the draw, lost die roll most of the day. He won game 1 on the play.
List pulled up. They'll do it.
Yeah, so this was my list that I played for Milwaukee, and it's not going to be anything like, oh, I was cooking up a pretty standard list. So definitely, I will say, didn't do a lot of testing going into DLC Milwaukee, and that's where I spoke to Tanya about this a good bit while we were in Milwaukee afterward. I was talking about kind of feeling a bit guilty almost because and undeserving because I didn't do a lot of testing with the new set. I had played Amber Steel songs since set 1 through 8, and then was left a refugee for set 9 and found Amethyst Steel, played it for a 1K, had never even tested the deck before, and I was able to go undefeated and win the 1K, and then went to 2 set championships where I bubbled out of top 8 in one, and then I lost in top 8 on the other. And outside of that, I maybe played, including the forbidden place that you can test, including that maybe, honestly, 7 or so games total. And so I'll be 100% honest that I felt very guilty going into it.
Just built different.
I was talking to Tanya about, in lieu of actual testing, I do listen to a lot of podcasts. I watched all of like the big set 9 events that we've had happen. I wasn't able to go to CCS, but I watched all the CCS matches, and especially for Amethyst Steel. Yeah, I absolutely played games out in my head, and also while I'm playing, just trying to have an intimate knowledge of the matchups and of what cards I'm playing around, and trying to think 3, 4, 5 turns ahead. And I think that helped a ton. I did watch the Illuminateers Liam's interview with Thiago on Amethyst Steel. I actually watched it, I think, 3 times within the week leading up to DLC Milwaukee, and overall just kind of trying to study it like I would just watch and learn. Like when I was back in school, I ended up being valedictorian, and I never studied a day in my life. I know I feel super guilty for that, and people are gonna be like, "You suck, DJ."
Nah, they're not. They're gonna be like, this guy is honestly the go,
Just
and
fucking
like you
figure
made it
out
that
'cause you're
far.
fucking smart.
Yeah, you made it that far by just doing that. That's crazy. Like if you actually like took a day, you'd be unstoppable. It's wild. So
I know.
like
I
you
feel like
being smart is never feel guilty about that. It's an accomplishment, honestly.
yeah, I think the big thing was I played the mirror match 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times across day 1 and day 2, and I only lost round 1 to a top deck doc in game 3 where I had stabilized, and he even told me after the match, he was like, if I didn't top deck that doc, you 100% won. And I was like, oh, sick. But it happens, and I gave myself a pep talk, said, DJ, just don't tilt off the round 1 loss. And then I went on to win round 2, 2-0 against Sapphire Steel, thanks to a takeback, obviously. Round 3, I played another Amethyst Steel on the draw, 1-2-1. And then I played Blurple, Amethyst Steel, Blurple, Blurple, Blurple. The next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds, and I 2-0'd all of them, mostly on the draw. And then, yeah, that.
And none of you guys won die rolls. Like that's
I suck at rolling dice. I was talking about that, and my opponent rolled a 4, and they were like, "Well, you're probably going to win this one." I rolled a 3, and I was out of 2 dice, and I was like, "Oh, you gotta be kidding me!"
Take
Can you
back,
imagine
take
this
back.
dude actually? Yeah, take back.
Take back.
I might have to do a
The
retry.
second dice fell out of my hand. I didn't roll it.
Yeah, give me that.
Yeah, and so I think the big thing, kind of what Dom's mentioning in the Twitch chat, like being able to go 2-0 into Blurple, especially on the draw, was definitely a feat, because most say that that's not a great matchup, and even the Amethyst Steel matchup on the draw is obviously unfavored. If you're in a mirror, going first is pretty sick.
Pretty good.
But I think Blurple's the deck that I've seen played the most, and we have a lot of good Blurple players on our team. So shout out Corey and Zark before he switched off to green blue. So I think just understanding the lines and keeping the pressure on them to where they don't have time to get their value, sing second star. Great. By the time you do, I have too big a board for you to answer. So another thing I found in the mirror matches, I feel like a lot of people fall into the trap that is very easy to fall into, which is you naturally in Amethyst Steel want to go 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, and then you usually keep strength. Strength is kind of always a card you want to have in your hand. I found that a lot of in the mirror, a lot of people are instantly zapping your 3 costs because usually that's the thing you do, so they can't sing strength back on you. What I found, I was able to a lot of times. Yzma is a back-breaking card. If you get Yzma off, you're winning the game. If you're drawing 3 cards off Yzma, so wouldn't play me for his math though.
Crazy.
I would have if you were up there. I was just kidding.
I would have been like, "What are you putting up?"
But no. So my opponent in actually round 12, I was on the draw against Amethyst Steel, and he goes 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, sing strength on my 3 drop. I had a 1 drop, 2 drop. He killed my 3 drop. He had played Yzma on turn 4. I play 1 drop, hard cast strength on Yzma. he's left with no cards in hand. I have an Yzma, a Dumbo in hand, and you just take out their card draw engines. It's really the card draw engines that ultimately win you the game, because Amethyst Steel is not winning the game that quick. You look at this list and you see that there is a lot of one lore pippers in here. And so you're not turning that corner just like that. You're really playing for that card draw. And once I was able to get Yzma to pop off, play Doc, Corey in shambles.
Crazy.
Yeah, that ultimately was how I kind of found playing the mirror over the course of the day. Actually, I think that was my top 32 opponent, potentially. Really nice dude. That was also on Amethyst Steel, and that was the 3 seed going in overall. Since I was 30th, I had to play on the draw the whole top cut and played the 3 seed and was able to 2-0 on the draw in the mirror match. And yeah, all I can say is I kind of just was like, I feel like the deck played out of its mind. Like I was just like everything I could do. There's rarely a case where I was like, oh man, I know I misplayed that. Because like you mentioned earlier, Amethyst Steel, especially, most people have said this in the community, it's very much a deck that if you make one slip up, you lose the game.
Yep.
And you're just shut out because you don't have these big, giant, Sing second star. And so, yeah, overall, I feel like you play it perfectly, you can win your way out of most matchups. And it's very consistent too. So I'm doing very aggressive mulligans with this deck. Came to bite me in maybe one game, but overall, I mean, I ship a ton as if I'm looking for ramp.
Yeah. But I mean,
Do
you
you
did
have
it.
a preferred 3-drop on the play on the draw? I feel like people argue that about Amethyst Steel a lot.
Yeah. So I find, I mean, Genie, the 3-drop Genie 3/4
Genies
is
ain't not a
just
lot.
objectively just amazing card.
Yeah.
I found a lot of times on the draw, I did sometimes find myself where I would play Giant Cobra if they had 3 characters going into turn 4, because at that point, if they're strengthened for 4 anyway, great. You could have strengthened it for 3 or whatnot. And so it's kind of, then if you don't have the strength, I have a 4 power character to contest your board. And yeah, most lists, some are still playing Fire the Cannons. There are a decent amount, but even then, if that's my only 3-drop, then that's what I'm playing. It's always kind of scary playing the vanished characters, being like, "Do you have it?"
Yeah.
But no,
How many
Genie's
times
just
did you say
amazing.
you played Cobra and triggered the effect?
I mean, Cobra, I only ever really triggered in the late game. I found if I was a lot of times it was either ink in the early game if I had like a Genie, because at that point 4 didn't really do much for me. But later game it was like, all right, cool, we just drew 3 cards off Yzma. Well, we docked, played cards, then drew 3 cards off Yzma, and just had these crazy swing turns. And yeah, also in the dogs matchup that I had in round 10, so won that 2-1, and with Chromacon, that card is so obnoxious to play against. And big thanks to Nora, our local dog player. She's been rocking dogs for a while. I did play several games with Nora the day before the tournament, the night before, and she was running Chromacon, and that was the first time because didn't test. So I really experienced the Chroma dogs, and I very much realized what you need to do into Chroma dogs, because naturally it's a good matchup until they get the Chromacon out. And at that point, you're either A, you're just racing them, or B, you're inking your high cost cards and then just taking out their cards because they don't have a ton of card draw. And at one point, my opponent had double Chromacon out, so they were bouncing 2 cards every time I banished something.
That's
but it was fine because I just was playing 1-drop, 1-drop, 2-drop, like Hook, Captain Calhoun, Jafar. And then it's like, okay, great. I took out one of your characters of your 3. I had already quested with my other characters. You bounce 2, and then I just replay 3 characters, ready to take out things next turn. So overall, like once you learn the matchup, say Dom say most cuttable card out of the deck. I guess it depends what we're cutting for. I think definitely there's arguments to be made. Like the big ones that are kind of replaceable are like the 3 1-drop happies. So a lot of people were on Palace Guard. I played that matchup. Most of my Amethyst Steel opponents were on Palace Guard and not happy. And Palace Guard is great for getting a couple early lore because you're not usually challenging into it, and so it's kind of free reign. So I do like the Palace Guard for that. I was on Palace Guard previously, but Happy, Elsa's hate to see Happy on the board. They bump into like your finish off your Genie Dragon or your Dumbo or something like that, and then Happy's just like, "What's up? We're going to the banish pile together."
Did you ever have somebody Elsa Genie or Genie, and then you just Madam Mim to Happy to take out the Elsa?
Yeah, or Happy can take out Dumbo with Madam Mim. Madam Mim's fantastic card when you have a board because it just undoes all the math. Your Genie Dragon can take out Genie Wish Fulfilled.
Could be a Berry Warrior. Your opponent will play Mim.
Yeah, and as soon as you get Mim out, it's definitely just standing ready the entire time. And then when you have kind of game almost on board, as soon as you see Mim going sideways, you know you pretty much got the game locked. You got the game locked in. Like if you see me exert my Mim, just extend the
pack
hand.
It up. Yeah, just pack it up.
So
get out of here.
Yeah, fantastic card. So Happy could be cut for Palace Guard. I think that's perfectly fine, especially if the list is running Bell Accomplished Mystic like this one is. When the deck is not running Bell Accomplished Mystic, I think Palace Guard value goes a little down because Palace Guard is a very rare 1-cost card that can hold 3 damage on it for Bell to shift that damage. I found that's one of the things that was sometimes tricky to utilize was the Bell, just because a lot of these characters, I had Calhoun, Jafar, maybe White Rose, and there's a lot of 3-power characters. Can't really often get full value, and even sometimes I can't even get 2 damage onto one of my characters without them being banished themselves. But overall, I feel like it's a card that you could cut Bell technically, but I like it. I think it's a good tempo swing of when you are able to take out a character, heal the damage off yours, and take out another character while developing a 4/4 quest for 2 that typically has to be answered. I don't know how many times my Bell was Hades over the weekend. And if you're doing that, you're not Hadesing my evasives or my card draw. So a lot of times Bell almost sometimes seemed like a bait card because she's already done her value once she gets onto the board. And she's just saying, yeah, please strength me, Hades me. And then you play out your card draw engines. Yeah. Dom said when he was at CCS, he was on 4 Palace Guard and 4 Bell, and it won him a lot of matches. Yeah. Tanya saying Bell being cuttable is hurtful. Yeah, I think it can be cut. I've seen lists like my opponent in top 32 when I read it was open deck list, and I read through his list and I was like, he's not on Bell. And open deck list, I really like that because now I was free reign in that game of like this damage is not moving anywhere unless I move it. So that was nice. He was on, I think, a little bit lower to the ground list. Since he was only 5 drops he was running was that Elsa. Yeah, overall the damage move not being even a factor in that game and knowing that was huge.
Yeah, open deck list does seem nice if you can. I'm surprised you even knew what all the cards did, but
No, I studied the cards. I had to tell, they only give you a deck list and it just says their
you're
name.
like on the app and shit.
Yeah. And it was funny because my opponent in both rounds, they were asking me like, which one is this card? And
I'd start lying.
no,
Which mana mim is that? The Rhino?
If you hand me a deck list that's Amethyst Steel and it says Jafar with whatever his text after is, I have zero idea if you're playing the two. That's what I'm saying. And if you only have one on your list, I have no idea which one it is.
Yeah. So like my opponent
He's
wanted
playing
to know,
the
like,
hand purple one.
yeah, is the Aspiring Ruler the?
He's playing the 7-drop on Inkable one.
Oh yeah, Challenger
Sick.
+7. Yeah, but no. Overall, it was just insane. And after round 12, when I won my round 12 matchup 2-1 on the draw against Amethyst Steel, I'll be honest, I was not feeling super hopeful that I was going to make the top 32 cut because I did the math and there were 11 spots already locked. And then there were 50 X2s that were playing each other. So that means 25, unless they're randomly draws, which would benefit neither of them. 25 would get in or would win their match, which means 4 X2s do not make it in. And in this event, like I know Zan was unfortunately one of the ones that got cut and bubbled out, and they really didn't do prizing either for if you tied that like they did the Let It Goes and things like that, which is pretty.
So if you were below everything, below 64, right? That's what they did to Simba.
Yeah, top 64 got Simba, and there were I forget how many, but it was something like
so
40,
65 and on to 2000 got the same promos I got, but they just worked harder. But
yeah, and there were like 40 or so X3s. Yeah, there were 40 or so X3s that had the same record as top 64 and did not get the Simba. I think that was definitely a mistake. Like completely objectively a mistake.
The non-foil Simba was 7,500 tickets. Is that what it
was?
Crazy.
It
was like,
it was like 7,000.
One of the promos was 7,500, and I was like,
it was
Elsa and
one from day 2.
I would say I think it's like the Elsa is too as well. That's your promo.
Yeah,
Elsa, or you could buy a hat and a pin. Have fun.
Yeah, and when I went over to because they posted the top, like I don't know if I stopped at 30 when I went over, but they found that on the app they didn't update it yet. They were like, everyone go to the paper, and so everyone swarmed these papers, and I went in there and I saw my name, and I saw that it was near the threshold of being cut, and I was stressing, and I see it, and I just go, I saw the 3-0, and I was like, oh my god, I'm in. And I turned around and there's Gerald, and he was like, and I was like, I made it, and he just pulled me, and I don't think I've ever been like handled in that way before. Because
my god,
this dude is way stronger than I was expecting, because he just pulled me out through this, squeegeed me through these people, and then just picked me up. And yeah, it was a surreal feeling of just knowing I got the invite. That was what I came to do, and it was a huge battle. Just the whole day one, losing first round, and then knowing I can only max lose one other match. Yeah, it was absolutely insane feeling, and then getting not just top 32 but top 16 and barely squeaking out of barely not squeaking out of top 16 to get a golden Mickey. And at the end of the day, like was I upset that I didn't get a golden Mickey? Sure, like,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I was like, no, like,
I'm here.
I'm happy. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not playing Palace Guard. I'm playing happy, and I'm happy.
You
So,
achieved the goal.
yep.
Do you happen to know how your first round opponent ended up doing? You lost to?
I am
I
not
assume you had
sure.
to have done pretty well to keep your breakers in good check, because that could have went horribly.
I feel like I remember hearing someone call his name. Obviously, there could have been another person with that name, but I know it was someone that was at Continentals last year.
Okay,
He
good.
won his LCQ
He can help
and then
you
played
on
in Continentals. So he was a good player. And then round 3, I ended up playing against Freedom Gaming automatic. So I was like, am I just playing good like known players that have accolades? And I was like, no, I'm in there. Like I got those accolades too.
You got that. Can't be flustered.
Yeah, no. The main thing was I kind of told myself at the beginning of day 2, I was like, all right, 7-1. I could easily just go 0-4 and not make it in.
Just gotta
And
play
that
your
would suck.
game.
But I was like, we're just gonna take one game at a time. And I told myself, I was like, you know what, DJ, I'm proud of you. And I'm like, I don't think I say that to myself enough. And I was just happy to be there and make day 2 and end up
we're all super
making the
proud
run.
of you. A phenomenal run.
Yeah, I mean, everyone was proud of you.
Can answer this question from the crowd.
Did you find Thiago's video with Liam more valuable than the actual testing you got in? I don't even play Purple Steel and watched it twice to learn to look for when my opponents were playing Purple Steel. I'd say it's definitely applying that learning to the testing. And in my case, a lot of my testing was kind of in my head and just going through the lines myself. I'm not actually physically playing with somebody. But yeah, just getting into even a glimpse into the mind of someone who obviously has played the deck very well. I believe,
just playing the deck for like 6 months.
Yeah, I know, and he's already to win back-to-back events is insane. So just to get a glimpse into what the thought process is when he's playing the deck, just even if you don't adopt it 100%. It gets you that kind of mindset, and then you can put your own thoughts to it. I don't ever recommend just blindly saying, oh, this person says do this, do it that exact way.
You don't do that? Like, that's wild.
Thiago, also former Hearthstone pro. I feel like Hearthstone has always helped him more kind of.
Or Hearthstone. I'm bad at Hearthstone.
We're getting the coin next set. We're getting cards that if you're going first, if this is your first turn and you did not go first, it costs 1 less to play or something. Yeah.
DJ, we've been trying so long to get amethyst cards in your hand. You can't play Sonics.
Dude, I'm ready for the Hercules stuff.
The deity set and Hercules cards.
Yeah, they brought back Zeus just -1 damage. And plus deity, and got a 3-drop. Got Rafiki Rush from set 1, except Inkable and Ruby.
It's the one that if it's banished from it,
no, it's Hermes 3-drop.
That one, yeah.
And it's Inkable. All of his predecessors were uninkable.
The amethyst, he's beautiful.
Yeah, he's a good one.
Yeah, he's also a cool character.
I do love Hermes.
I like the Ares.
Art is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's going to be it for us. It was a great run by DJ and the rest of the team.
Also proud of
DLC Milwaukee. Show us the goods again. That's what people came for. Coming to a locals near you in the Triad area.
It's going to be dope if you see it in person.
Oh, yeah. I know.
You can't touch it. I'm punching you if you touch it.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's definitely going to come out at some point. I told my wife I was going to play with it, and she was like, no, the F you are not.
Get one of those top loaders. You can play on the top loader.
Oh God.
I told Ashton if I ever won one, I was just gonna sign it the date and the time that I won it, and then I'm playing on it forever.
The time is crazy. At 4:45.
It's gonna be like at midnight. Yeah. No. Thank you guys, everyone in the chat. Are we coming to Collector's Cove on Saturday for the iconic tournament, the double iconic tournament?
Yep.
I will not be able to play. I was away for work right before, and so I was away the weekend before with family because my grandmother passed away the Friday before, and then right into after seeing family, then I went to a work trip in New York. And then went straight from New York over to Milwaukee, and I was gone for a long time. My wife is absolutely amazing for, I don't want to say allowing me to, but supporting me through going. And especially with me traveling for work and us having a 2-year-old, it's not easy, especially while she works full time. And
she made the logo. If anyone likes the logo.
Yeah, and she made the logo.
Hit her up.
Beautiful.
You can make your logo too.
She's gonna be like, actually, no, don't. I'm busy enough.
What DJ's saying is he's nobody bothered DJ's wife.
Yeah, no, I will be at Collector's Cove on Saturday, most likely. Me and my son Slade. Slade's gonna be there to observe, and he might be judge. I gotta start training Slade now because we have
a blanket on him.
Yeah, he'll be sleeping with the Elsa playmat. But no, with Aiden being the youngest Mickey winner at 10 years old, which is crazy. I'm training Slade so that by age 9 he gets a golden Mickey to take the youngest player crown.
Big brain.
Yeah, exactly, Corey. Yeah, no, I'll be there to support everybody that's going to be playing for that iconic, and that's going to be amazing. I haven't seen the Iconics in person, so maybe they'll let me hold it. I'll let you hold my playmat.
Oh, I should have let you hold mine before I sent mine off.
No, I'm getting that Iconic Hades now, whether I pull it or not.
Iconics for your mat.
I got you, bro. Yeah, when I pull that Iconic Hades, they'll trade you for the mat.
No, I'm just going to buy it with the money that I sold my Elsa and Simba promos for.
It's not fair.
That's fair.
Has a woman gotten a Mickey yet?
Not to my knowledge.
I'm going to feel
I think the closest one, she got 9th, I think, right?
Monica?
Yeah, she got 9th.
Yeah, Monica killed it past weekend.
Phenomenal job.
Yeah, her goal was just getting a
Mulan.
And then she just destroyed people, and she was at the table down from me, and I think she ended up being the stream match. I'm pretty sure that match, but yeah, she lost in top 16.
Undefeated day one.
Me. Yeah, she was at table one, day one. Phenomenal.
Yeah, Lady Gang.
Very nice too.
Tanya was saying.
So you'll see her at Continentals when you go there, DJ.
Yeah, I'm gonna see her. I'm gonna see everybody there. I mean, it's just. Absolutely. Oh, speaking of Lady Gang,
I'm back.
Speaking, she appears.
I've been hiding in the background the whole time. But yeah,
doing all the stuff for us.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to come in and say congratulations to DJ again. Great time to plug. Hero. We do have a Metafy. You can choose your Ohana member to coach you. DJ would love to coach you.
About to be busy as a
I got you.
He's so busy. He has no time.
I don't play games, but I watch my students play games.
Like. Video 1. DJ, I got it. Video 1. How to do a take back.
All right, that's criminal.
You're never living the take back down.
I could have not told you guys about it.
As soon as you told me, I texted Matt. Matt was like, I don't know if I can do it.
Matt was about to crash.
I was about to be like, I'm ashamed to be his teammate. And I was like, just kidding,
kidding. Crazy. Take back's awesome.
If you do it and win, then do whatever the fuck. I don't care. If If you were like, I
Um,
ate one of my opponent's cards because I had to get that victory, I'd be like, you're my fucking guy, dude.
Should have ate the second star.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would have been nice.
But yeah, we are so unbelievably proud of you, DJ. I know that
You deserve
some of
it.
the goals that we had talked about at the beginning of the year were kind of trying to put Ohana on the map, and first DLC comes and goes, and you guys, especially you, kind of did it. So
Yeah, I mean, you might have already talked about this earlier on the podcast, but the fact that me, Corey, and Zark made day 2 7-1,
sat next to each other.
we dodged each other
Yeah.
and barely dodged each other. We were sitting right next to each other. I mean, that was just incredible.
That was
We all
awesome.
we all
Or
lost the
farming.
die roll that round too.
Yeah, that was so funny.
Hilarious.
You guys were really like in it together, and then Zark lost. All he had to do was win. It was crazy.
Yeah. And now he has the same promos I do. Crazy.
But he had 10,000 tickets, and you didn't. So
Actually, hold on. I did.
okay, yeah, actually,
If you
and
add
Matt-
up all my
I
tickets,
can
Sebastian,
to pay more money and got 10,000 tickets.
paid
No, I
seven-
didn't.
No, paid $150 more to then get. the
hold
same
on,
amount of
time out.
tickets.
I don't think so because he entered inside events.
Oh yeah, he only entered in one.
Yeah, it was $25.
10,000 is from
Yeah,
there, too.
your
Got
event was
more than
$75
10,000.
for you and your wife.
And he has the same amount of stuff that I do, and I worked less.
I don't know, guys. I don't know. We're just gonna ignore him. It's okay.
That's
Set him up with
crazy.
One be prepared. Like, that's crazy.
One be prepared and 3 tomatoes is insane. I can't lie.
Guys, I mean, I didn't even think I was gonna do that event.
Yeah, but the weekend was unreal, and I can't wait for Richmond CCS. I can't wait to win CCS so that the second place person gets the invite, since I can give
That's
them a pass down
Crazy.
for qualifying for Continentals. Going to
can see
Richmond,
that.
making sure the 33rd person gets that invite. I'm gonna do my
I'm gonna be the
Do my-
33rd person just so
Yeah,
I can
I
have DJ's
got you.
invite.
yeah. I'm gonna have one made out, like an actual like golden ticket, and be like, here you go. You didn't
That's
make top 32,
diabolical.
but- No, I'm just kidding.
That's
That'd
crazy.
be awesome.
That
No,
would
you
be
should.
so sad.
Freaking Willy Wonka over here. That's
I'm
cool.
about to Willy Wonka this bitch. No, it
Oh,
was
yeah,
amazing,
yeah.
and just so happy for our team just showing up and showing that Team Ohana is right up there with everybody, and it can be anyone's day, and anyone can get that top 32 and join me at Disneyland.
But not everybody can do it without testing, so test people, okay? You're not DJ.
Yeah, for real.
None of us
fine.
are DJ.
Some people
all right?
might be. Some people might.
Yeah, tune in Thursday. My wonderful co-host and I, Fluffco, will be doing Overcooked again. We are starting the series again. We kind of took a hiatus. I think I posted that a little bit when I did our post after DLC. We were like, all of us were in the tank trying to just figure out what to play and everything. So we are going to have a new co-host that you guys will meet on Thursday. She is our resident Overcooking deck builder. But her decks actually work unlike me and Fluff's. So yeah.
Yeah,
Ours
don't give
kind
me
of work.
another deck with Donald Duck.
Okay. Did you win?
Yeah, I won.
See,
Okay, then,
so
quiet.
all you have
I think
to
I
do
still
is
have that
make
deck sleeved
top
up.
cut DJ to get
He
invited
won.
on
He
top
like
cut.
barely won. It's okay because he's we're gonna make him and Corey do the next one again.
He
They get
looks
to
like me, Corey.
We're gonna have 3 decks, and we're gonna have you randomly choose one, and you're gonna be like that one, and I'm gonna be like, sick. Here
It's
you
gonna
go.
be good. It's gonna be good. We're gonna be testing set 10. We're gonna be cooking up set 10 as well since all of the cards are up. So that's gonna be exciting.
It is.
But thank you, everybody. We'll see you guys on Thursday. Stay tuned. We're gonna rate a channel really quick.
Sick.
Meow.
Yeah.
I already have it pulled up. We're gonna
Sick.
rate the ICL.
Yeah, I love the ICO. That's where I'm going.
Remember when you like messaged me being like, what accomplishments should I put on my ICL?
I know. I finally have something. That's
That was literally something that he said whenever after he like won top
remember him
32
being
and then
sad
like
as
lost
shit.
top
You were like,
16. He was like, I can put this
Oh
on
yeah,
my
I felt like
ICL
such a
thing now.
failure. I felt like
That's
such a
crazy.
failure when I was filling
I was
out
like,
the
I'm
ice
literally
field.
embarrassed to put mine, but
I would
That's
have just been like,
wild.
I like dogs. I like pandas. That would have been on mine for sure.
Dude, I want that
I know.
Matt.
Meanwhile, mine was like
I would have
winner of
just
set
been
champ.
teammate of.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's what I
That's
would have done too.
crazy.
See
Lives
that?
in same town.